I I mean, we're martial artists, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like if that's something like I would love to have a conversation, about it and talk with her first and everything like that because, she's somebody that inspired me and is I've looked up to and um you know what I mean? Like it would definitely be conflicting emotions, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I'm down to do it, but at the same time, I also understand if there'd be like second thoughts or if it'd just be kind of weird. But honestly, like you know, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But honestly, like, just as a fan of hers, like, she's literally like my favorite female fighter for real. Like, so it'd be so weird because obviously I would never want to see her lose, but then I would have to go into a fight and try to beat her. And then at the same time,
She didn't shout, she didn't scream, she didn't pound her chest. But what Rose Namajunas said might be the most dangerous warning Valentina Shevchenko has heard in years. Because when fighters yell, it's hype. When Rose Namajunas speaks calmly, someone usually gets hurt. And now the thug is coming for the most dominant women's flyweight champion in UFC history, Valentina Shevchenko.
Zhang Weili's throwing a lot bicycle all night. She
of those inside low kicks.
holy head kick has regained the strawweight throne.
Rose Namajunas, American mixed martial artist, former two-time UFC strawweight champion professional, MMA. Record 14 wins, 7 losses. She's not built on hype. She's built on violence and precision, knockouts, submissions, championship moments under pressure. This is the woman who knocked out Joanna Jędrzejczyk twice. The woman who became champion, not by bullying, but by breaking elite fighters mentally and physically. Now she's moved up to flyweight, and she's closer than ever to something bigger.
Up the nose of Leonardo, who's leaking the canvas. Back to her feet, but now just eating.
Sorry, Brendan.
Some damage from Silva.
Damage. She's growing in confidence. She's stalking her opponent. Leonardo. Tough night at the office.
Leonardo's covered up, and that'll do it. Natalia Silva, a winner with style points once again. Go hard to do it better than that.
Style points indeed, Brendan. She looked fast, sharp, very aggressive.
This Saturday, UFC 324, Las Vegas, Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva. This fight is more than a matchup because Rose has been promised something massive. Win this fight, and she gets a title shot against the queen of the division, Valentina Shevchenko.
Y'all do not know me. I feel like I'm Kobe. That boy really tough on his dozy.
Oh, nice.
I keep it drinking on.
Valentina Shevchenko isn't just a champion. She's a system, a counter-striking machine, one of the most technically complete fighters the sport has ever seen. Years at the top, title defenses stacked on title defenses. Most challengers don't threaten her. They survive her.
I mean, we're martial artists, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like if that's something like I would love to have a conversation, about it and talk with her first and everything like that because, she's somebody that inspired me and I've looked up to and you know what I mean? Like it would definitely be conflicting emotions, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I'm down to do it, but at the same time, I also understand if there'd be like second thoughts or if it'd just be kind of weird. But honestly, like yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I honestly, like, just as a fan of hers, like she's literally like my favorite female fighter for real. Like, so it'd be so weird because obviously I would never want to see her lose, but then I would have to go into a fight and try to beat her. And then at the same time,
here's where things get uncomfortable. Rose Namajunas doesn't hate Valentina. She respects her. She's called Shevchenko her favorite female fighter, her inspiration, a woman she studied, admired, learned from. And yet Rose says she's ready to take everything from her, not with insults, not with trash talk, but with something far more dangerous. Confidence. She says she understands Valentina's rhythm, her timing, her counter-striking bread and butter. She says champions don't need to be flashy. They need to be effective. And Rose believes she's the one fighter who can disrupt that system. That's not hype. That's a warning. His isn't striker versus grappler. This isn't power versus power. This is timing versus timing. Rose is unpredictable, explosive, mentally unbreakable when she's locked in. Valentina is surgical. Patient punishes mistakes instantly. And here's the truth. Rose doesn't need to knock Valentina out. She needs to make her uncomfortable, change the rhythm, force hesitation, create chaos. And Rose Namajunas lives in chaos. This isn't trash talk culture. This isn't disrespect. This is a fighter who knows exactly who she's facing and still says, I'm down to do it. If Rose beats Natalia Silva, the UFC gets a nightmare matchup. Respect versus violence, admiration versus ambition. And Valentina Shevchenko will face something new, a challenger who isn't afraid. A challenger who understands her. A challenger who believes she can win. Rose Namajunas didn't scream a warning. She whispered it. And those are always the most dangerous ones. Stop scrolling because UFC 324 just took a wild turn. Nobody expected Kayla Harrison is out. Amanda Nunes has no opponent. And now a boxing legend just raised her hand and said, I want Amanda Nunes. Not someday, not hypothetically. Right now. This isn't fantasy matchmaking. This is Amanda Serrano, one of the greatest fighters on the planet, ready to step into the octagon on days' notice. And yes, she's dead serious.
I had to have surgery on my neck yesterday here in New York City with the specialist, Dr. Kim. Yeah, so in lieu of that, obviously we're going to have to reschedule the fight. And I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Amanda.
Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes was supposed to be the biggest women's fight in UFC history, but it's officially off. Kayla Harrison suffered a serious neck injury, required surgery, and the fight has been postponed. The UFC says they plan to reschedule when Kayla is healthy, but Amanda Nunes already came out of retirement. She was already locked in, already preparing for UFC 324. So the question became, does Amanda Nunes wait, or does the UFC find a replacement? That's when Amanda Serrano entered the picture.
I love this sport. I love to fight. I love challenges, and this is a big challenge, but I'm up for it. I'm all in. Champion. She's an amazing fighter, amazing person. That's not what I do. I don't do call-outs disrespectful. I'm just, like I said, I'm a fighter. I'm up for the challenge, and let's do it.
Amanda Serrano didn't hesitate. She told TMZ Sports, I'm up for the challenge. I'm always up for the challenge. She called Amanda Nunes a great champion, a great fighter. But she made one thing very clear. She's not afraid. Serrano reminded fans of something most people forget. She's not just a boxer.
8 days away, 9 days away. Could you be ready? Are you in the shape physically?
Critics immediately said the obvious. This is MMA. This isn't boxing. Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. Serrano's response? Cold, calm, confident. She said, listen, I'm undefeated. I have 3 MMA fights. Amanda Serrano is 2-0-1 in MMA. Her last MMA fight was in June 2021, a submission win, her other MMA victory. Also, a rear naked choke. She still trains MMA, still throws kicks, still drills sprawls, still works wrestling weekly with her high school wrestler nephew. This isn't a celebrity call-out. This is a fighter saying, I'm ready. UFC 324 is only days away, so can Serrano really be prepared? Her answer shocked everyone. She said, I just fought. January 3rd, I was in amazing shape. She took 2 days off, then went right back to the gym. No long layoffs, no excuses. Just this, I love to fight, I love challenges, and I'm all in. That's not promotion, that's mentality. Let's be real. Amanda Nunes versus Amanda Serrano would be a boxer versus a GOAT. A massive crossover fight, a last-minute chaos matchup, one of the most talked about women's fights ever. The UFC says they'll wait for Kayla Harrison, but if Amanda Nunes wants to fight at UFC 324, Amanda Serrano says, I'm ready to rock and roll. So now the question is simple. What do you say? UFC comment below Serrano. If courage shocks the world, Nunes. If the GOAT reminds everyone who she is. Because sometimes the most dangerous fights are the ones nobody planned.
I'm mad at you, DC. You're saying that my work doesn't warrant it. I'm the first ever woman to win the Ultimate Fighter. I've torn 4 out of 5 ligaments in my knee and came back from that, actually both knees. I gave birth and had a baby and came back from that. I have been clawing and scratching my way up to the top and been in this division since 2013 when they first allowed women to join the UFC. And, you know, I did everything that I said I was going to do leading up